Hi, Candace.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And remind me again where you are located.
Near Sacramento, California.
Sacramento. Okay, great.
So what is your number one must-see destination in China?
Well, where I'm sitting right now is such a phenomenal place. It's a hidden gem. It's been under the radar. It's Hangzhou, and it's in the Zhejiang province in southeastern China. We're about a 50-minute high-speed train ride from Shanghai, and under 2 hours. It's just under 2 hours flight from Beijing. So I have to tell you, I know a lot of people want to go to Beijing, and I think it's very important to go there and walk on the Great Wall of China and see the Forbidden City. But if you're looking for a truly authentic Chinese experience, you should definitely put Hangzhou on your list and make time to go there, maybe after you go to Beijing. And if you're in Shanghai for business, you need to make time to come here as well, because it's such a beautiful place. It's been an inspirational mecca for centuries, and now it's getting on the U.S. radar. Candace, last year, Hangzhou was the host of the G20 summit, and that put the spotlight on this area, and people said, hey, what is Hangzhou? Where is it? And why should I go there? And now we're seeing it show up everywhere. It was recognized by both the New York Times and Travel and Leisure as a top place to visit for 2016. So when you are seeing recognition like that, and then some of these places, I'm at the Four Seasons, which is a boutique hotel. It's got just 78 rooms right at the edge of Westlake. And these are the types of places, people are coming here, they want to get pampered, they want to relax, they want an experience that's truly unique. And that's something you can find here at Hangzhou.
So what are some of the must-see spots at the Four Seasons?
Well, whenever you come here, you're going to have a different experience. So, for example, right now during the summertime, the lotus is something that's in season, and it's also something that's blooming. So when you're out on the water, you might see gorgeous lotus flowers. When you are at a restaurant, you might get to eat some of the lotus, and that's something that's really neat, something that changes with the season. Not only the scenery, there are areas here, everything has a legend or a story attached to it. And right here at Westlake, depending on who you talk to, there's a list of top 10 places to see, there's a list of top 12 places to see. The scenery is incredible. There is a pool that has a moon reflection that it's known for. There's a place called the Broken Bridge, and when it snows in the wintertime, people race out because they want to see the snow lingering on the Broken Bridge, and there's a very romantic story attached to that. If you come in the springtime, that's when the Longjing green tea is being harvested and made. So coming, say, in the month of March is when you will really get to see the people out in the fields, and they will be harvesting. And, Longjing tea is the most famous green tea in all of China. It comes from here. The National Tea Museum is here, and you can visit that any time of year. And I even walked in the fields yesterday. It was wonderful. And just to see the scenery, they will show you how to pick the tea. You can do tea tastings any time of year, but in springtime is when they actually harvest it. So if you come during the fall, that's when the crab feast is happening. So those are different things too. Whatever season you come, the food on the table at the restaurants will reflect what is current right now, because the food here, and this is a really unique thing, Candace, because we have a stereotype of Chinese food in the US, but when you come here to Hangzhou, you will see it's not spicy. What they do instead, the chefs, they want you to taste the genuine flavor of what is being grown here. So whether it's bamboo shoots or duck or fish or different vegetables, whatever is current, you will get on your plate, and you will see that it's not just, Kung Pao chicken is something you only get in the United States. It's not something you get here in China.
And what is your recommended luxury tour in Hangzhou?
Well, when it comes to luxury, it doesn't get any better than the Four Seasons. And this place here is it's incredible. The garden is amazing. The architecture of the hotel is beautiful. You're going to feel like you've really escaped into a place of just total oasis. And Hangzhou is known as paradise on earth by the people who live here in China. And when you come here, you will get that same feeling. So this is a perfect slice of life. Something else that if you want to bring home a luxury treat for yourself, I'm wearing this beautiful outfit that is the traditional, it's called a qipao, and it's the traditional outfit of the Chinese women, and you can have one tailored for yourself when you come here, and that would be a beautiful, luxurious gift for yourself. And you know, Candace, you and I have talked before about the fact that women go on vacation and we really should pamper ourselves. So having something like this as a souvenir to bring home would definitely be a luxurious treat.
Definitely. And where are some great places to hang out at night?
Well, variety is the key here, and that's the cuisine, the activities, and also the nightlife. And I'll tell you what, Candace, something that's really important to know is that you can feel very safe when you're here in Hangzhou. And the nightlife could be anything from a jazz club to local theater, opera, Chinese opera. You know, Chinese opera is very famous all over the country, but here you're going to find some truly unique local presentations. What I recommend is to talk to the concierge at your hotel or the tour operator you're working with and let them know what kind of experience you want to have. So whether you want to see live music or whether you want to go to a local watering hole and just kind of mingle with the locals, that would be something you could do here. Westlake in particular, you know, Westlake, I talked about the scenery and how beautiful it is, but it's also a gathering place. It's not just a tourist attraction, it's a community. It's part of the community here. People come out at night and you'll see sparkling lights everywhere in the trees. You can walk along the edge, take pictures at sunset. It's gorgeous. And then there are a lot of restaurants and coffee shops, and I have to tell you, there was a Starbucks. I was very disappointed, but you know, that means they're just trying to appease the international visitors. So I guess I can't be too disappointed about that. But if you want to really see with the locals how they live, coming to Westlake is a great opportunity to do that. And the restaurants are just, there's a huge variety. You can eat Korean food, Japanese food, Chinese food, anything you could want. You're going to find it here. It's not just, you know, pigeonholed certain cuisine. There's huge variety here. So that goes for the cuisine, the nightlife, the activities, the museums. Variety is really, it's a mainstay here in Hangzhou.
It sounds beautiful and the food sounds delicious. Do you have any additional tips or information I could share with us?
Sure. I wanted to let everybody listening know that you should not be worried if you don't speak Chinese, because I know two things in Chinese: ni hao, which is hello, and xie xie, which is thank you. That's it. I don't know anything else, and I have felt so welcomed here. People are so friendly. If you don't speak the language, you can pick up a Chinese phrase book. I highly recommend something like this, because even if you can't say the words, you can point out the phrases in the book, and then someone will understand what you want. So this can be a lifesaver. Also, letting you know too that the museums, you know, the National Silk Museum is here, the National Tea Museum is here, and when you walk through the galleries, they cater to the international audience, because you can see words in English, everything, you know, they have translations in the galleries. There's even tape recorded programs that you can listen to when you're walking through parts of the National Tea Museum, and they have different languages. So you're listening to a narrated guide in English, and a lot of people worry, oh, I'm not going to understand anything, but they really do cater to the English-speaking crowd at these museums, because they want us to know about their culture, especially silk and tea and porcelain. The museums here are very interactive, and what I mean by that is, I'm going to show you, I made this yesterday at the National Silk Museum. They have a textile room where you can go and learn how to weave something, or this is a tie-dye. I'm holding a piece of tie-dye silk. It's a beautiful magenta color, and I was able to tie it up and wrap thread around the different parts of the silk, and then we dyed it. And it was a really fun thing to do. And you know, we think of tie-dye in the United States and we think of Woodstock. And the reality is tie-dye is a very old technique that was used here in China centuries ago, thousands of years ago. And when you go to the National Silk Museum, you see these exhibits, and there are beautiful embroidered umbrellas. There are beautiful examples of the gorgeous outfits that the emperors wore. And some of them are tie-dyed, and the tie-dye is so small and intricate. So it's a great reminder when you go into the textile room and can do your own thing. Just you think, wow, I didn't realize that tie-dye was something that was connected to the Chinese dynasties. So a really great example of how you can get involved. Also at the porcelain, at the museum that it honors porcelain. It's the oldest type of porcelain in the world, and it comes from here. It's the Southern Song Dynasty Guan Kiln Museum, and you can learn a lot about the pottery and get involved. Again, hands-on. The museums here are hands-on, so I think that was really great. At the tea museum, you're going to taste the tea. You're not just going to look at it. And Candace, I know you're going to laugh at me, but when I left that museum yesterday, you come out of it and you think, oh my gosh, tea changed the world. I mean, this museum tells you about how tea was so important that it helped trigger, the American Revolutionary War. It helped create the Silk Road, all the commerce here and the trade. There was so much of it centered around tea, and we forget about that. We just, use our tea bag and throw it out. But when you come to China and you go to this museum, you remember how important tea is. And there's also so many different types of tea, and you can sit and have a tea tasting at several places in the National Tea Museum. So really, really wonderful, wonderful places here.
That's amazing. I can't wait to get the video back so I can see everything. And where can we go for more information, Stephanie?
Sure, Candace. Well, social media, of course, changes everything. And Hangzhou has a Facebook page, and they're very active. They want people to go there. Facebook has helped us get to know places all around the world that we could never know otherwise. So it's a great place to start your research. You want to go online. Some of these museums, also wherever you're staying, whether it's a hostel or another hotel or here at the Four Seasons, go online, research the place you're going to, and also if you're working with a tour operator, this is a time when you're going to a place this far. I mean, this is a big investment of time and money, so you want to make sure you have the best experience possible. I highly recommend working with your tour operator and letting them know, hey, this isn't a romantic adventure, so I'm going to need to know where the most romantic places are. Or, hey, this is a family adventure, what can I do with my children? For example, there's a wetlands park here. It's the first national wetlands park in all of China, and it's right here in Hangzhou. So if you were coming with anyone, you would want to go there and spend some time. You can go out on a traditional wooden boat, and these are the types of things that you can work with a tour operator or your hotel concierge to set up ahead of time. So really important to do your homework, do your research ahead of time, and then when you get here, kind of review your itinerary with your hotel concierge or your tour operator.
Sounds beautiful and sounds like the perfect trip. Well, thank you as always, Stephanie. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your time there.
Thank you, Candace.